and welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. This is going to be a short episode. First of all, I just want to say I haven't slept for 3 days because that would be way too long to sleep. Anyway, today we're going to take this door out because it's underwhelming and has some issues and things, and we're going to put a sliding glass door in. So we're super excited about that. Also, a couple jobs ago, we were working for somebody and they've got a karate school, and I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but I've got a black belt. And it's right here. I've actually got like 3 black belts, so that's kind of cool. But I actually do know karate, kung fu, and 3 other Chinese words. I can use them in a sentence and everything. So what we're gonna do to do this is we're gonna take this trim off right here. We're gonna take the door out. We gotta make the opening bigger because this is, you got my magic tape measure here. This is 5 foot 4 inches and we need it to be 6 feet. So we're gonna make this opening bigger, and then we're gonna put the new sliding glass door in, and then we're gonna trim it all back out on both sides and spray foam it. So I will show you step by step, probably in one other step, how to do this. It's gonna be truly amazing. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Goodbye. Oh, me? Just sitting around sipping lemonade and stuff. We went ahead and got this French door out. It was pretty easy. I've got a magic button. I don't know if you guys remember the Jetsons cartoon where they just like push a button and everything folds up and then it's like a briefcase and you carry it around. It's similar to that. I just push the button and just, and like there's some of it over there and there's some of it over there, and it'll probably just magically go to the dump. It's pretty magical. So like I said before, this door that's going in is a 6 foot door, so that's 72 inches. And right here we have 66.5 inches, so we need to cut this opening bigger. And I think what I'm going to use is this thing. Some people have like a Saw-Some, but this is a Saws-All. See, Saws-All. So that's what we're going to use for that thing, and it's going to be magical. Now, I'm trying to think of a way to make $1 million real quick. And my idea is this, that if every one of you, like 1 million people, each send me $1, then I will send you a copy of my new book, How to Make $1 Million on the Internet by Getting 1 million people to each give you $1. I haven't written that book, but I have written 4 other books, and they're on Amazon. And maybe you're thinking like, what's a good, cheap gift that I could give to people for Christmas? Well, just look up my name on Amazon, Kindle, iTunes, or Audible, and you can find all that stuff. Like if you're so lazy that you're like, I can't read because the internet has ruined me, that's okay. Because Audible, I will read the story to you. Anyway, look at my name. I've got a Wretch Like Me, is my story about how I used to be a drug dealer and I overdosed and died and went to hell and got a second chance at life. Desperation is my second book. It's like a modern day story of Job with a Vanilla Sky Matrix kind of a twist to it. It's a pretty good book. My third book is for those of you that hate reading. It's called The Art of Saying Absolutely Nothing at All, and this book has no words. It's truly remarkable if you're stupid and lazy, or if you want to get it as a joke for somebody else that's stupid and lazy. My fourth book is called Everyday Angels, and it's a pretty cool story. I don't want to ruin it, but I will say that there's a pretty good twist in that you'll be glad that you read it, and it will be inspiring. So we're going to cut this opening up and see if we make this any bigger, and maybe we can get this done this week. We might just leave and come back after Christmas and put this door back. Is that cool with you guys?
No. Absolutely.
They said yes. They said, okay, so we'll be back in a couple weeks. All right, cool. See you later. So we started working on this door about 7:38 this morning, and now it's 7:42 this morning, and we've gotten quite a bit done. So we took out the old door, we cut the hole bigger, as you can recall, and then we put this new door in. It was super lightweight. I think that it's made out of 3 feathers, and that's it. Not heavy at all, and super easy. It just like fell right in, just like it was meant to be there. So you're probably thinking to yourself, what if there was some rogue air that was the wrong temperature that decided like it wanted to infiltrate your house? Could it come through here? The answer is yes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray foam all this and then let that kind of settle, and then we're gonna trim it out on both sides, and then we're gonna caulk all that, and then we will be done, clean up, because you know we're gonna do that, and then we'll be done with that. So I'll show you another video here in a minute, but in the meantime I want to talk to you about how oblivious people are about their own selves. So in the Bible it talks about that on Judgment Day that Jesus will separate us from like the sheep from the goats. Just that easy. Just look over and go, you go on my left and you go on my right. It's just that simple. And he'll say to the ones on his left, when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When I was thirsty, you didn't give me anything to drink. When I was naked, you didn't give me any clothes. When I was in prison, you didn't come and visit me. And because of this, then I never knew you, and be gone. That basically is saying go to hell. And those people were like, but Lord, like they're oblivious. They're like, but Lord, when did we ever see you hungry or thirsty or naked or in prison and not help you? And he said, when you have not done this for the least of these, then you haven't done it for me. But equally as oblivious are the sheep, because he says to them, when I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. When I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. When I was naked, you gave me clothes. When I was in prison, you came and visited me. And they were just like, as dumbfounded. They're like, when did we ever do any of this for you? Like equally as dumb, just, huh? And he's like, whenever you helped one of the least of these, then you helped me too. But I just feel like we're all pretty oblivious. And if you're very, very confident about something, I would definitely like maybe rethink that, because you could be wrong. And I cannot think of a more horrible thing than to get to Judgment Day and be like, oops, I did that one wrong, because that is going to have some serious consequences. So that's something to think about. We're going to get this door done. I love you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day. What is today, Wednesday? I hope you're having a wonderful hump day. All right. A lot of you probably wonder, where does John eat? Well, I only eat in the most elegant restaurants and only in the best of places, like here in this driveway. And I'm having a Panda Express, and it's really delicious. So my friend Chadwick, he is also like me, like ridiculously intelligent. And several years back, he went into a tattoo shop in the middle of the night, and I think he probably had some drinks. And then he asked, he said, hey, I want a tattoo. And they're like, are you drunk? And he took a 20 and slid it across. He was like, nope. And so he's like, I want a tattoo across my arm for peace, prepare for war, but in Latin. And they're like, we don't speak Latin. And he goes, it's cool, I know how to do it. So he writes it down, and they tattoo it on his arm. And he thinks he's very clever. And some years pass, and some girl that actually speaks Latin looks and reads his arm and says, that doesn't actually say anything. What's it supposed to say? He's like, for peace, prepare for war. And she's like, yeah, it doesn't say anything. You got it all wrong. So it actually says sinus parabolum. So I constantly tease him that he has a sinus problem. So I'm not stupid like that. So for my next tattoo, a lot of people get Asian stuff tattooed on them, and so I want to make sure that I know what I'm tattooing on. So this says that it says water, but that's just a decoy. This actually means peace, love, tranquility, and I'm going to tattoo that right on my neck, which I think I'm quite a bit smarter. So let's see what my fortune says. I'm going to open this up. It says, you have a way of standing out in a crowd. Ugly people often do. Wow. I see how it is. Kick a man when he's down. That's it. No. As the prophecy foretold, we have our door in, it's spray foamed, it's trimmed out, and it's caulked, and the customers are happy. You can see them, they're making faces. That's how you know a customer's happy, is when they make faces like that. So what else do we want to talk about? Johnny Appleseed, perfect. Johnny Appleseed once said that you can count the seeds in an apple, but you can't count the apples in a seed. And what does that mean? That means that you can look in there and be like, I don't know how many seeds are in an apple, 24, whatever the number is. You'd be like, that's how many there are, and that's it. But even in just one seed, there could be gazillions of apples. I don't think that's a real number, but I think it's pretty cool. So we're super happy about this. Also, I want to say that he who's good at making excuses is rarely good at anything else. Our budget on this was just under $1 million and about 6 months. It was 182 days actually was our budget, and we came in way under budget and way under time. So the customer's very happy, and my boss is very happy. He's probably going to. Welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. So I'm sure that most of you realize that yesterday was Thanksgiving, and to celebrate Thanksgiving, I wanted to teach my nephew all about the spirit of Thanksgiving. And so him and I both went to some neighborhood that was not ours, and we let them feed us, and afterwards we killed them, most of them. But then we left some of them, but we had them exported with disease blankets, and I think he really got the spirit of Thanksgiving. Also, this morning I was like, man, I'm still kind of hungry because I only ate 13 turkeys yesterday, and so I ate a kid's meal at McDonald's. The mom was not happy about it at all. I don't know why I ate the kids' meal. Anyway, so today we are going to take this shower out. It is beautiful, but we're gonna make it more beautiful. And come on in the shower with me, Alex. Yeah. Oh, don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. So we're gonna take all this beautiful stuff out, and we're gonna put new beautiful stuff in. And so we're super excited, and I'm just happy to be here to see you guys again. So love you. See you soon. Bye. So it's been about 28 minutes, and as you can see, we took out all this tile. Come on in here. Took out all this tile, all the sheetrock, and what have you. No, don't turn sideways. All right, so then here's your drain. I'll show you. Down here is where your drain is, so there's just PVC sticking up. And this was cracked pretty bad. You can see how it's got a crack in it right there, and then it's split all the way down, right? Which means that it was leaking water underneath the house, so you get all these roots coming through because, trees are like, hey, you know what I like? Water. And so that is not great. So we're gonna go to the dump and
Dump to the dump to the dump dump
dump.
dump.
That's where the Lone Ranger takes his trash. We're going to do that. But I just want to tell you guys that you actually don't need a parachute to skydive. You just need a parachute if you want to skydive twice. So there you go. That should be helpful for you. Sometimes you're just like, nailed it. This is not one of those times. Missed it. So, come closer. Do you guys remember that guy that gave up? Nobody else does either. All right, so come closer. Come closer. Today we took out all this stuff. Yeah, take a look around. And we put in, took out all the other. We put in green rock, did a pan, poured the pan. It's simply amazing. Now, I just want to talk to you real quick. I know you guys are busy and it's Black Friday. I know you think Black Fridays matter, and I'm like, all Fridays matter. But I just want to talk to you about homophobia. It is stupid. Who's afraid of homes? All right, that's all I got. Oh, hey there. So it's been about 28 minutes and we laid some tile. So I did all the easy stuff, like sitting there sipping lemonade, and my helper, who will remain nameless, did all the difficult stuff. And so thank you very much, helper who doesn't have a name. Pop your head in there and show everybody what we did. Isn't that pretty? And then of course on Monday we'll come back and we'll grout it. So it's a big old difference. And also last night, once I left here, I edited another music video called The Fig Tree, and so please check that out. I know it's like 2 days after Thanksgiving, and so you probably won't, but you know, don't let it slip by. It's a real good story. So I'll tell you the story behind that. Jesus is walking on his way to Jerusalem, and when he is, he goes over, and it's early spring, he goes over through this fig orchard, and he looks through this leafy tree because he's hungry, and there are no figs on it. And so he curses the tree, and he says, may you never bear fruit again. And then they go on their way to Jerusalem, they're there for 3 days, and they come back, and Peter says, Lord, behold, there's the fig tree that you cursed, and it's withered to the root. And Jesus says, that's right, and greater things than this will you do if you have faith the size of a mustard seed. You can say to this mountain, be uprooted and thrown into the sea, and it will be done for you. And that's all it says about the fig tree. And you're like, I don't know. But if you know anything about fig trees, which I do now, there are no figs on any fig trees anywhere in the world in early spring. And so the fact that Jesus knew that it was early spring and looked for fruit on this tree anyway, and then cursed it because it didn't have fruit, doesn't seem really very fair. You look at it and you go, but Jesus, none of the other trees had any fruit either. Why did you pick this one out? And none of them, it wasn't even fig season. And so if you think that deeply, then you're like, that seems like maybe one of the meanest things that Jesus ever did. And he had 3 days to like eat a Snickers, take a nap, whatever. And then Peter called him back out and I was like, hey, there's that fig tree that you've cursed. At which point Jesus said, and if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can do literally anything. And so the important thing here is that in the world that we live in right now, it will never be a season for love. There will never be a time where we look across the board and go, look, everybody's blossoming. There's fruit of the Spirit everywhere. There's love, joy, peace, patience, forbearance, blah, 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 blah. And everybody's doing the right thing and everybody's following God. And so if we're waiting for everybody else to be doing it, we will die waiting, and then we will be cursed. But if we have faith, even tiny faith, then Jesus says you can do literally anything. And he calls us to do the impossible all the time, to love our enemies. That's not an easy thing to do. Not just love them, but to pray for them and hope the best for your enemies, to turn the other cheek, to walk the extra mile, and just to do miracles and amazing things. So that is what the song is about. I hope you enjoy it. And Monday we'll come back and grout this, and this job is growing into other things too, so I can't wait to see you guys. Have a great week together. Oh, hey there. So, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. We went ahead and grouted this morning because we're not completely lazy. Pretty lazy though. And it's still, so come on in here. Let's take a quick look around. So when you grout, I know we discussed this before, a lot of people think that we cut this grout with some kind of a special grout saw. That is stupid. We don't do that. We just mush it up and squish it in there, and then we sponge it off. And so when we do sponge it off, you have to sponge it off and then wait, and then sponge it off again, and then wait, sponge it off again. And then it gets this film over it, like this stuff, right? And then you just keep wiping it off, and eventually it'll come off. So that's perfectly normal. This isn't secure yet. We haven't done all this yet. But that's perfectly normal grout. So that's that's something interesting to know. So the next thing we're gonna do on this job is we're gonna lay laminate floor. So go ahead and take a look in here. So a lot of people are like, if I probably get asked this, I don't know, 17 times a day or something, like literally every day for the last 32 years. John, can you lay laminate floor on top of tile? And the answer is, yeah, you can. A couple things you want to look at, like, hey, can the door still open if there's laminate there? And if the answer is yes, then you can do it. Everywhere that that there's a thing like this, right, a door jamb, then you got to cut the bottom of it off. The reason why is because this is a piece of laminate. We'll just get a scrap piece. It'll come up to the baseboards and we'll put cord round down, but with the door jambs, you can't put a cord round down because that's stupid. So we make this so we can go underneath it, right? So then we go underneath it pretty much everywhere. And the way we do that is with this tool, and that's called a multi-tool. My friend Paul Fensel calls it the, what does he call it? Like the, like it's a mobster, like a gangster, because it sounds like this. And that cuts all this stuff out. So we haven't swept this yet, but we got all this cleaned out here. And so that's how we do all this stuff. And we're super excited. And I don't want to brag or anything, but cashiers are always checking me out. Anyway, we're gonna get started here. Well, it's been about 28 minutes, and we spent most of those 28 minutes, holy monkeys, just trying to catch me on fire. We spent most of those 28 minutes eating because Alex likes to cook so much food that I feel like I ate all of Romania. But as you can probably clearly tell from my slides, we are having a seance over here. We put this laminate down everywhere. We still need to put cord round out, which trims it out, but as you can tell, major difference. So you can see we got it all in here. We're still going to have to do the bathrooms. We're about to do those, but I figured you guys were like, what's John up to today? Because we haven't seen him in forever. So I got a couple tips that'll help you guys out. If you drop your phone in rice, if you leave it in water overnight, it attracts Asians and they'll fix your phone. I'm pretty sure that's right. Also, I've got a question for all you mind readers out there. So a lot of you guys support civil rights, and I applaud that, but I just want you to know that personally I support civil wrongs. So a lot of you guys are like, John, how do you do it? How do you cut this laminate and make it so beautiful? Well, I'm glad you asked, especially around the circle, right? Because cutting straight, whatever, right? But complex cuts like this, you can see. No! See, oh, sorry. You can see that's complicated cuts, and we use magic, or as I like to call it, math. So, I, on purpose, made the boards go this way, and we're starting on this side so that in case there's a problem, I can just cut it again and scoot it over a little bit, right? But for the most part, these are like straight little pieces, right? You can tell that that's pretty much a straight, you go around. So the way that you do this is, you can get up close if you want to, you measure this, you go, okay, well that's 4 5/16, right? And so then you come this way, you go 4 5/16, and then, and here's the mind-blowing part, you just take that and make a mark, okay? So, boom. Let's go table saw. We're gonna see if I'm right. Let's see if I was right. Oh gosh, please, please, please. I don't want to embarrass myself. I'll have to do take two, which I never have to do take two. Holy, what in the, wow, that's magical. Okay, so now you're thinking to yourself, how do I cut this straight cut? Well, I'm glad you asked. So normally there's a female side and a male side, right? And normally they're going this direction, but if you want to cut it, you turn around this direction, put it up against there. Hopefully you got a pencil in your back pocket. Mark that sucker. Then hopefully you got a square and a knife in your back pocket. And check this out. I'm putting this cork here so we don't mess up the floor underneath it, but this stuff is score and snap now, which is pretty amazing. So we just hit it a couple times, and then, like magic, that happens. So we take that sucker, we put it in here, and then hit it with a hammer, because it's pretty durable. Boom goes the dynamite. That's how it works. Hope you guys learned something. Love you, man. So it's been about 28 minutes, and we had kind of a lazy day today. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, with daylight savings time, which I don't feel like saves me any daylight, I feel like it takes away my daylight, the days seem much shorter. Like it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it's dark outside. I don't even understand. But anyway, so today we didn't do a whole lot. We had the lazy gene, but we did put all this laminate in. We haven't trimmed it out yet, so don't hate. We did all this laminate over here. My helper did all the hard work, I did a little bit. We did all this in here and all that in there. All this laminate in here. I showed you kind of how to go around the circle. Then we went all in here as well. And also, because whatever, that's what we do, we also grouted this. If you remember, we did that earlier today too. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Would you guys mind holding this grudge for me? It's heavy and I don't feel like it's doing me any good. So if you guys would just hold that for me, I'm exhausted. Thank you very much. You probably noticed, and this is a little embarrassing, that I'm wearing pants. And that's because it's December in Texas, and so the temperature finally got into the double digits. So it's not 100 degrees anymore. Now we're in double digits, so I gotta wear pants, which is a little bit crazy. So we laid this floor yesterday and several other floors, and we laid one this morning. We got one more to do, but we've got to put a toilet in first. So you're probably thinking to yourself, so how do we trim all this out and make it actually look good? Because right now it looks like it got run over by a truck or something like that. Well, I'm glad you asked. We are going to put cord around the edges and then caulk this seam. We're going to put in a shower door and finish this off. We're going to silicone some stuff. We're going to put the toilet in and so on and so forth. We're going to do that in other rooms too. And then we're going to put thresholds everywhere where it needs a different kind of flooring. So that's truly amazing. So yesterday we were talking and the subject came up, the third commandment. And I know what you're thinking, I thought there's 10 commandments. There are. But the third commandment says, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Which I think that, first of all, almost nobody knows the 10 Commandments anymore, and we're definitely not following them. So a lot of people think that means like, don't say GD or things like that, right? Because, and I'm sure it does too, and which constantly people do. I mean, like all day long, every day. And I'm like, do they take the name of false gods in vain too, or is it just like the one true God that they curse his name with everything they do? Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I think that it goes a step beyond that. If there are people that say things like, God told me to tell you to do this thing, or God wants you to do this thing, and if you don't do it, then you're not in God's favor. I believe that oftentimes that is taking the name of the Lord in vain. That is saying, I want you to believe that my will is God's will, and if you don't do my will, then you're disobeying God. And I think that that is highly offensive to both the people that have to listen to that garbage and to God. So anyway, that's a thought. I thought you guys would enjoy that. We're going to get some of this stuff done. I don't want to like chew the food with you because it's super boring. But once we get it all in here, I'll show you what this looks like again. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. All right. I was told that everybody else said this is impossible. And I've got some advice for you. Literally everything is impossible if you have that attitude. But I don't. I've got the attitude that's like, I'm not afraid of anything, because what in the world is there really to be afraid of? So, I don't know if you remember if we showed this to you because I'm absent-minded, but we went ahead and laid this floor right here, and it looks beautiful. We trimmed it out with quarter round, so in case you don't know what quarter round is, it's that stuff right there. We put in a new toilet. We ended up putting in new shut-off valves and new supply lines as well. We put in a new faucet because that's what we do. And come on, we laid this floor. Here it is. So this is what it looks like. So we put cord around all the edges, and imagine that you got round, because everybody's like, quarter round, what's that? Imagine you got round, and then you cut it in quarters. That's a quarter round, and it looks like that, and that's what that stuff is, right? So it's a quarter of a round. And then these are thresholds, right? So here's a threshold that covers up, you got ugly cuts or whatever, and then this transitions from your wood to your carpet, or wood to tile, or wood to whatever in the world. And so we did all of this in here as well. And this room is not clean, I'm gonna warn you ahead of time. But nevertheless, we also did all this. And so we put in all this floor. We did this shower, if you'll remember. We put the shower door in, I think since last time you guys saw it. And that looks truly amazing. So there we go. We also did these two faucets earlier today. I had my plumber put those in. He's really amazing. I wouldn't go anywhere without him. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. So that concludes yet another episode of John Works Too Much. And tomorrow we're gonna do something else. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Love you, mean it, bye.